Hello, students. I want to do this game with you. It's from Prep Test 87, and it's just an ordering game. It is about, let's see here, sorry. I have to look at the exam over here. I cannot put it on the screen. I like to say this in every video. So you need to also have it printed out, or you can have Prep Plus pulled up in another window. But that's what you see me doing here. So this is about participants in an experiment. What do we have here? We have 6 groups that are going to be placed in order. So I'm going to create my base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then what is my roster? J, L, M, N, P, and T. All right, so let's look at our rules now. This is our first rule. I'm actually going to move this a little bit to the side. Underneath, well, no, I'm going to move myself. I'm going to move me. There we go. I'll be right here. Okay. This is our first rule. And our second rule, we can kind of merge with that. And our third rule can also be merged. So we're creating like one giant system that will hopefully describe the whole game. Ooh, the last rule. Okay, the last rule is kind of a doozy. This is basically just saying that P is going to be between J and L. I don't feel comfortable adding that on to this web I've already created, so I'm going to put it underneath as its own separate rule. I do like to merge rules when I can as much as possible, but I also like to be mindful about making things messy. I don't want things to be messy. That's what the last rule says. So our first question is just an apply the rules question. We are going to take a rule and kind of like go down the line, and when something violates that rule, it's gone. So let's start with our first rule. A obeys that first rule. So does B. Okay, so C doesn't. For C, you could see T comes after N and also after M, and that's not what it's supposed to be. So we can get rid of that one. What about the next rule? So A obeys that rule, B obeys that rule, and D violates it. You can see that L comes before M on D, so we can get rid of D. And what is our next rule? Our next rule is the NP rule. And oh, A is out. A violates that rule. Ooh, and our next rule is the one about P being between J and L. So let's look at B and E. Okay, B is wrong. B violates that rule. So therefore, the correct answer here is E. Okay, let's look at number 2. This is asking me about which variable could go in a certain spot. In this case, the last spot. So there's things I can get rid of right away. I know when I'm trying to figure out what could go here, well, there's a few things I know for sure can't. Specifically, neither T nor M could go there. So I would get rid of B and E. What else? I know that there's no way P would go there because P needs to be between two things. So how could it be at the end? That wouldn't work. So is that one of my options? Yeah, it is. D. We can get rid of that. And what else could we possibly get rid of? Well, what I'm left with between A and C, I'm actually going to test out C. Would it be possible? Would this be possible? If we put N in 6, we would have to put P in 5 because of this rule. And now we have a problem because P needs to be between L and J, and there's no room to the right of it. So N actually cannot be in the last position. Which one was that? That was C, right? Yeah. So the correct answer is A. Okay, let's look at number 3. I have to check on my dog. It's been a little bit sick. Okay, number 3. Oh, good. This one gives us a local condition or like a local rule. It's a local question. I always like to kind of like write out when they give me a local rule. I'll write it out. Or like I'll symbolize it is what I'm trying to say. So that's what they gave us. So what we know, if that is going to interact with this rule here, if L is before J, that tells us that we have this kind of a string. L, then P, then J. P is going to be in the middle, and L will be before J. So this is our local rule. What I'm going to do, or what I want to do, is to like merge this with my original diagram. Like this here, I want to merge it all together. So I could have T, then M, then L, then P, then J, except that we actually have an NP rule. And this is like one giant string that includes my original rules, it includes all of my original rules, and it includes the local rule that they gave us. So I can see, yeah, I have all 6 variables in here. So this is a could be true, I believe. Yes. Usually when we have like a could be true, what I've noticed is that they're asking us if we have variables that could switch and others that have to stay in place, they're asking us about the ones that could switch. So like for this string, we would have to put T and then M and then L. So yeah, D is the correct answer. That could be true. It doesn't have to be true. You could also have P and 4. Okay, let's look at number 4. Oh, good. This one also gives us a local condition. I love these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If P is right here in the 5th position, then what? Well, I'm trying to think out loud. Here's the thing. P is featured in 2 rules. I know that N is either immediately before or immediately after. And I also know that it needs to be between L and J. So here's the thing on this one. There's no way I could put N right here because then I couldn't put P between L and J. So I'm going to have to zhuzh N over to the other side. And now P can be between L and J. I'm going to create 2 possibilities. We could have L or we could have J. And I was about to keep going, but I realized I've already solved it. Because this is a must be true. That is what they're asking about, the fact that N will need to be on 4. So this is the correct answer. Neaten that up using my arrow. Number 5 is a minimum question. It's kind of about assignment. It's saying what is the smallest possible amount, the least possible variables that could come to the right of T. So I'm going to look at my master diagram to see if that will help me. As I look at this, T has a full 4 variables shoved to the right of it, period. Like it needs to have all 4 of those to the right. I don't see, the only one that's not included in that web is J. And from what I could see, J could either go before it or after it. But we definitely need to have at least 4 of them to the right. So that's going to be our minimum. So that's going to be, the answer is B. All right, I hope this has been helpful. To everybody who's watched it, thank you for watching my video. I love making these. My contact information is going to be in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.